decide to go out and go to the cemetery on Halloween night. So we got our camping gear, and we got our liquor, and we got our cigarettes, and we jumped in Joe's 72 green Oldsmobile station wagon, and we headed out to Pleasant Hill Cemetery. We get out there, the cemetery, as you pull up, the cemetery is to the right. The old schoolhouse is over here. It was built in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and it's completely abandoned. It's just a two-room schoolhouse. In front is the standard Texas church. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This, the triangle-shaped building, the high arch, the entryway that you walk through that has the bell tower. Standard, Baptist church. All this, and it's all boarded up. This thing hasn't been used, I don't know, 40 years or so. The side of it, the door, you could go over there and jimmy the door and get in the church. It was a church. It had, pews in there. It had an old piano that was completely dilapidated. It wouldn't play here. It had candle things up, sconces up for candles. And here's the church, right? So we go in there, we take all of our stuff, and we set up on the altar. And we're just going to sit there and tell ghost stories. And Joe had the Necronomicon, or some sort of crazy book about all kinds of ghosts and demons and stuff. And he was going to read. So we're up on the thing, and we just hung out there, and we drank. Their drinking age, like I said, was 18 back then. And we smoked cigarettes, and we're doing our thing during Halloween. We would walk through the graveyard and all that stuff. And it's really creepy on this place because Alcoa has all of their lignite mine, open pit mines behind here. So these big piles of dirt on either side of Pleasant. And that night, it's a good full moon, a lot of clouds. And we're sitting in there, and Robert falls asleep. Actually, he falls asleep. Mike falls asleep, and it's just Joe. And Joe is still reading out of this book. I don't know what book of spells or Necronomicon or whatever that was. And the whole church, the whole building, altered. It shifted. The whole thing, you could hear like that. And you can see the side of the church bow in. I feel like I'm a pretty logical guy, and I'm like, oh, Joe, shut up, quit reading out of that thing. I don't know what you're doing, but it's not good. Stop, shh. It's like, what? And you can see the slats in the ceiling had those old, like wooden slats in the ceiling. Dust was coming down. And now we had some candles. I think we had like a little lamp or something. We had some candles out and everything, and this was really creepy. So we're being very illuminated, and the wall does it again. And I can see the whole church, right? And you can feel it, you can see it. There's evidence of it moving with that dust coming down and the noise of it. Now, please stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. And I'm trying to think, what would be doing this? We didn't have a storm. There wasn't anything like that. But I'm one of those people that, I don't know if y'all ever watched The Wizard of Oz. But The Wizard of Oz is pretty cool, but I have to look behind the curtain. I want to know how come he can shoot fire like that? What is that all about? Is that magic? What is it? So I looked at the door that we had come in. And I get up, like I said, I'm 16, 17 years old. I go to the door, and the door, of course, opens inward instead of opening outward. So I have to open the door and kind of get around the door in order to look at the outside of the building. And what I saw was it was something pretty shocking. It was big. I remember it in my heart, and I was like, what in the world? It's big. It was one of the biggest cows I've ever seen scratching his ass with his nose. I can do it this way if y'all want. That is kind of where most of my paranormal experiences go to whenever I'm healing.
See you in the shadows, my friends.